So let's illustrate this concept with the help of a PDF file which consists of FIFA World Cup data, correct? So this PDF consists of text which you can see, which consists of the various details of World Cup, and also the data of the World Cup match results in the form of a table. Okay, so you can see that it contains the data of each year and what are the various rounds and who won the finals by what score. Okay, so 1930 is one final, 1934 is another final, 1938 is another final, and so on and so forth. So this particular PDF has all this data, and the problem with a conventional RAG is that this particular table gets flattened when we create it into chunks and create vector embeddings, correct? So if you ask a query on this particular table, it may not be able to give accurate results, right? Now you don't have to believe me, I'm going to show you how it works. Okay, so let's say we have this application which we have built, it's called the HybridRAG, right? In this we have fed this particular PDF as the data source, and when we ask a particular question, right, let's pick up a question here. How many matches in the World Cup ended in a draw? Okay, now when I ask this particular question to the HybridRAG, you will see that it returns a response which is an exact count from this particular PDF, right? Now you see HybridRAG has given an exact result 14, whereas conventional RAG has given all over the place some kind of data. Now how does it come, right? If you can see there, each match where it is a draw, right, you can see it's a draw here, there's one more draw here, 1938, and so on and so forth, right? How is it getting the information of exactly 14, right? So what's happening under the hood is the data is getting digitized, right? All that table in this particular PDF, okay, is converted dynamically using an LLM. A schema is created and the data is also inserted into Superbase, which is a PostgreSQL database, and it is converted into a digital form like this. Now when we ask a question saying how many matches in the World Cup ended in a draw, it's a matter of a simple SQL query which is dynamically constructed from the query, from the message that I have asked, correct? So it's a matter of just running this and it gives you the exact 14 rows. Here I have not asked for what data they are, but it can also give you what exactly are those years where this happened, correct? So in fact, if you want, we can actually try it out as well. Okay, I'll leave it you to for trying it. Now how does this work under the hood, right? See, under the hood what we are trying to do is we are taking the data from the PDF and extracting the text and the table separately from the PDF, and whatever text we get, we're chunking it, creating embeddings and stored it in vector database, which is Pinecone, extracting the table data, generating the schema, taking out the data from the table and storing it in Superbase, correct? Now when the user asks a query, we use agentic AI architecture to dynamically decide is it a text query or a table query, and route it to the appropriate agent to fetch the data and return back to the user, right? So let's look at it from a purely text query. What was the host nation for the first World Cup, right? Now if you look at this particular information is not going to come from a table, correct? What was the first host nation, right? Because this just has the results of the matches which happened. It doesn't mention about what was the host which was organizing that particular World Cup. Now you see that data is over here in the text, right? Uruguay was chosen as the first host nation. Now when we ask this particular question to the HybridRAG, it gives us that accurate answer, right? So how is this coming? It's coming basically because it is a pure text based query and it is getting the data from there, correct? So that is the power of HybridRAG. If you want, we can also try out one of another interesting use case, which is what was the highest home score by any team. Okay, so in this query we are asking what was the highest home score by any team in World Cup matches, print the year, home team name, away team name, winning team name, number of goals scored. Now you can see clearly the difference, right? Conventional RAG just blurts out some information and says you figure out what you want, right? Whereas HybridRAG gives that exact quantified information because all the data is simply coming from this particular database, right? And that's the power of HybridRAG. That's the enhanced power you get out of using this architecture, right? See, you can clearly say it says 1954 Hungary versus South Korea with 9 goals scored, right? So the question was highest home score, correct? So let's verify this data. So I go to this table, I go to 1954, and I can see that Hungary versus South Korea with 9 goals is the highest home score in this entire table, correct? So which is so highly accurate, correct? So if you have a use case where you really want to be able to query on the text or on the table or hybrid, this is the solution you need, and this is one of the cool applications we built, and I thought I'll share the details with you. Thank you.